Okay.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to Manifest. We are going to find out how we get to manifest everything we want. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you're here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, most of you have attended a workshop, if not an intro. I think you all have attended an intro. I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that. And a few of you, excuse me as I bend down, a few of you have even attended 3-week, 4-week workshops, and a few have attended the 6-month program. So we're the whole gamut. So some of you might feel like, well, is this a little bit of review? In a way it is. Because guess what? Whatever you're hearing now is going to be totally different from what you heard before. Because whatever we happen to hear now is totally reflective of where we are right now. Right? Where you are right now is totally different from where you were 2 minutes ago, much less 2 days ago, much less a year ago. Can you believe that we have been into this experience for 1 year or darn near? We're really close, aren't we? Where on earth did 1 year go? Right? I mean, it's overwhelming to even think about it, of what has taken place and what we might all be searching for. So right now, as we start getting into our first hour together for this series, let's just take a moment to see how you are in your body, because that's the right now. More often than not, as we think about and reflect who we are, what we are, we forget that it's big piece is being in the moment in your body, which is your breath. A lot of other pieces, of course, but let's think about breath. So if you would please place your hands on your tummy and breathe in. Breathe in that expansive inhale. What's it feel like? Do you have space for it, or has the day gotten so big and so much that maybe you forgot what it was to breathe? By the way, would all of you mute yourself? We're recording for those who are predominantly on the East Coast and probably not with us tonight. So right now, bring your hands to your tummy. Like I said, breathe in. Do you feel your hands coming forward with that inhale? Do you feel your low back moving against the chair you're sitting in? Is your sacrum, that low back, moving with your inhale? Do you feel it moving with your exhale as your body lets go? Good. Now bring your hands to your diaphragm, to the solar plexus. Breathe there. Do you feel your breath moving there? Do you feel your hands coming forward with the breath, with that inhale? Do you feel the back body moving against the chair you're sitting in? Just time for reflection. Who am I in this body right now? What am I feeling? What am I experiencing? And maybe as you're experiencing your breath, you're actually even contemplating something that just transpired today. That's okay. Checking in with breath doesn't mean we forget about everything else. Now, bring your hands to your chest. Breathe there. Have that inhale. What's that feel like? Do you feel your hands moving forward? Just check. Good. Now, do you feel on that inhale your back body moving? If you have a low back chair, chances are you're not feeling it necessarily going up against your chair. But just feel, there you go, good. Feel how your back body moves with that breath. Maybe it's even allowing your neck to have some extra movement. How long has it been that your neck actually moved with the breath? That's what we're checking in on tonight. Do you feel your breath, your body moving? There you go, good. Just checking. So you're welcome to bring your hands down now. So what did that feel like? We're doing kind of a base level. Just see what's happening. So many of you have done the daily clean your house flow with me. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with it, but I do want to go through the steps for those of you who are new to it. And guess what? No matter how many times you've done it, there's always another time to do it. There's no such thing as too much self-help. You've heard me say that one before. Never, never, ever too much self-help. In fact, the very first step of the daily clean your house flow is to give yourself a hug. Hold your hands anywhere from your elbows on up and breathe. This energy balance area is about breath. It's connecting with energy balance points that are about lungs, about diaphragm. They're also connecting with energy balance points that are right in level with the heart. Expansion of heart, of taking care of self, loving self, being good to self. You're also connecting with energy balance areas that are on the back body, all the way back here. That can sometimes be pretty hard to get to. Today, I can actually do it, which is exciting to me. I'm right there. And do you know how much excites me? Because yesterday I couldn't. I got my shot, my second shot on Tuesday. And I was kind of a constricted thing yesterday. Like that arm, my left arm, did not want me to do much of anything. It constricted all across my upper and mid back. Does that sound familiar to a couple of you who've had your shots? Well, today, because of doing a lot of energy work yesterday, last night, and actually even before the shot, because what we do, right, is prepare our bodies for what we're going to ask it to do, prepare it for what we might be receiving, no matter what that is. Let's give yourself a hug, give yourself love. Good job. The next step is to sit on your hands. When you sit on your hands, you're connecting with an energy balance point that's all about vitality. So if this brought breath into your body, this brings it to every cell of your being, creating vitality throughout. Breathe it in, allow it, be with it. Beautiful. I'm going to mirror you. The next step is to bring your right hand over to your left shoulder. You're connecting with an energy balance point that's all about letting go, getting rid of it. This does not want to be a garbage collector, but would many of you agree that it can be? It gets pretty tight up in there, doesn't it? Even those of us who do a lot of our energy work day in, day out, what is it about this space? Well, yeah, it's the first time coming from this vertical body you walk around in that it goes to a horizontal plane. So this energetic body you walk around in that is a physical being as well, all of a sudden, everything that's been collecting up here has to go somewhere. And if it's not flowing down, it might collect right there. And when you do this, you're helping to connect all the dots, all the energy balance points from the top of your head, the back of your head, the base of your skull, the neck, the shoulders, the back, the low back, the sacrum, and all the way down and out. And then you go to the other side. This works so well, it helps to break down muscle tightness. Let it go. If it helps do that, imagine it can help prevent. So be good to yourself. This is my best friend, to tell you the truth. I do this off and on sitting in front of this computer. And I do it off and on if I am out in my garden getting good and dirty, which I do really well. I do it if I'm out on a hike where I'm asking my body to do a lot, or before and after exercise. So think about all these points we're talking about and how they can be made use of to take care of you, because that's what this is all about tonight. Taking care of you, because you are extra special. You are important. Now bring your hands, crossing your hands to your opposite inner thighs, holding like here, anywhere from your knees on up, wherever the fingers land. If you haven't heard me say it before, you know what this is about? This is all about, guess what? Not being perfect. There's no wrong because there's no right. So wherever your hands land is okay at this moment in time. When you're here, you're connecting with an energy balance area that's all about digestion. Not just digestion of food for nutrient, but digestion of everything and anything. Ideas, concepts, beliefs, information, attitudes, behavior, concepts, anything that's coming in mentally, emotionally, physically. Hey, I almost came out with figuratively, and guess what? It's that too. Anything has to be processed. Everything has to be digested. And if we don't, it gets caught, right? It gets stuck, so it never moves through. And then we might have a problem right here. It has to move through. We're going to talk more about that. The next step in the daily clean your house flow is to palm your calves. So right hand on right calf, left hand on left calf, right below your knees. Now, some of you know this one. You also can just hold the outside of your knees. So it would look like either palming your calves like so. You see what I'm doing? Or, right on right, left on left, or the outside of the knees. And when you're there, you're connecting with an energy balance area that's all about letting go, elimination. Again, in the physical sense, yes, it's eliminating. So it's intestines, gallbladder, liver, letting it go, bladder, kidney, you name it, letting it go. But how about letting go of old emotions, letting go of old feelings, letting go of old patterns, of old behaviors, letting go of old thoughts, old things that are in your way, the patterns that are something that is getting you stuck. We're going to be talking a lot about that because we're here about manifesting, right? Getting from where we are to where we want to be. Then the next step, oh, by the way, we're going to discover that point is a phenomenal anti-inflammatory point, just FYI. And it's a thermostat controller. So if you're someone who's having issues with temperature control, too warm, too hot, too cold, find that neutral, hold the outside of your knees. Then the next step is to hold the base of your skull, right on right and left on left. Doesn't that feel good? I don't know about you, but it's one of my favorites. I just love this. And the reason I love it so much is, number one, it feels good. But number two, I dearly believe this, truly, truly believe this. This is helping you connect with your higher consciousness, your awareness, your true sense of self. And when you're there, you're on the way to manifesting. Beautiful. So yes, it's also about clarity and focus. Yeah? Okay. Then the next step is to place your hands with your thumbs against your sternum, like so. And that is another moment in time to check in with breath. Feel that. Notice how it was instantaneous. You didn't plan for it, but all of a sudden there was a nice, beautiful, deep breath coming in. This is about alignment with higher consciousness. That's why it's called prayer, namaste, or any other word you want to put to it. And it just feels good. You know what else it does? It aligns the spinal column. For those of you who've done the 6-month program of, you know this one. As is on the front, so it is on the back. So when you're here, you're connecting with spinal column. Bring it in. Feel the spaciousness you are, all the possibilities. And be prepared for what's coming your way when you're in that kind of alignment. Isn't that a sweet way of looking at it? Beautiful. Then the next step is to jumper cable. And that's where we just gently cup each thumb and finger one at a time, starting with the thumb. Doesn't really matter which hand. I usually start with my left hand, but again, it doesn't matter. And when you connect with each one, a couple good breaths, you're connecting with all the energy that enters and exits your body, helping it find balance, helping it find harmony. Bring it in, allow it. Allow it. And then recognize that the other piece that's really, really awesome is you're helping to balance all emotion. Not saying emotion is bad. Emotion allows us to be human. Did you know if you take the E out of emotion, you have motion? Have you ever heard me say, or maybe you've heard from someone else, that emotion is important, but if it gets really big and takes your breath away, it's probably not doing you justice. Emotion is there to give you information. If it gets too big and you get in your own way of being able to go from where you are to where you want to be, that emotion might be a little bit too big. Again, it's pretty important. So we can help get rid of worry fast. I'm on my next hand. Get rid of worry fast, F-A-S-T. Let go of worry and concern. And if we're not walking around in a worrisome state, we can more easily connect with our wisdom. Sweet, huh? F, let go of fear. It's an important emotion. It's what taught us years ago what we needed to have safety and a sense of security. Yeah? And if we live in fear now, we're not in freedom. We're in our own way. Wouldn't that be more fun? Then the A is anger, frustration. This is based on Jin Shin Jitsu, which is an ancient form of Japanese acupressure. And if anger is in the way, little by the way, did the Japanese know we'd be holding our middle finger up in anger? If we're caught up in anger, we are probably not getting anywhere, because if we don't have anger, we have awareness. We need to have awareness to move from where we are to where we want to be. Then the S is sadness or grief.
Yeah.
I can't get him to mute. There we go. So if we have sadness, that's a pretty important emotion. Wouldn't you agree? It helps us recognize what we're missing, what we've lost, what maybe wants to be replaced. But if we're caught up in that loss, we're caught up and not being in sync with our body. Then the T is the trying to's. Trying too hard, trying too much, trying to do it all. That place of efforting, that's no longer a verb when it becomes a description of how we are. And instead, let's be in a state of trust. Trust that all is possible. Trust that we don't have to work so hard. We don't have to be trying and efforting. We can trust that the universe, whatever words you want to put to it, higher powers, that life is giving us the possibilities of all we want to be and who we want to be. Now that's the daily Clean Your House Flow. I do it every day, several times a day. I wouldn't miss it. And it's your platform, it's your foundation. There's other possibilities. You know what I love doing when I'm doing my daily Clean Your House Flow? And why do I call it that? It's because the body you walk around in is your house. And if you clean it out every day, you're ahead of the game, right? Get rid of the dust bunnies and cobwebs, give it a darn good vacuuming at least once a day. Boy, that's a clean house. And I utilize it also as a meditation time. I actually create affirmations when I hold my points. Have you ever thought of that? When you're there, giving yourself love, giving yourself a hug, affirm, I truly love you, body, on all layers and all levels. I love you so much. I know that you're there for me. Because when I take care of you, you're taking care of me. So those kind of affirmations create the state of meditation. And you don't even have to think it. You can just know it. When I was first getting into this years ago, I did say the words, I did state it. And now I just go into that place of meditation, of ease. So this morning, I have to admit to something. I had the best darn morning. I started it out at sunrise, out in the hot tub in the garden, listening to the birds wake up, listening to the hawks swooping and talking to each other, as I just was with me. Have you ever thought about that as a way of really being in touch with self and how important that is to be with me? Say those words right now. You willing to? You don't have to say it out loud. You're muted. Just, I love me. I take care of me. I know me. I want me to be healthy, to be vibrant, to be joyful. All of this is about taking care of yourself. Think about it that way. Loving yourself is not selfish. In fact, it's being conscious of self. And when you're there, you can desire what you want and maybe even have a better chance of getting it. Because when you are conscious of self, you're conscious of all parts of you. So why do I say it that way? When you walk around in a body that's energetically balanced and harmonized, it means all those energy balance points are in a state of balance, not collecting onto blocked energy. So when we think about all these meridians and channels that flow through your body, I call them rivers of energy, right? And each one of them has multiple energy balance points. If we looked at the Chinese methodology, by the way, there's hundreds of points. Now, in your handouts tonight, you would have received, now this was new to many of you, you would have received a page that shows the 26 energy balance points. They are actually taken from the manual that I've created for my workshops. So it is, I'm going to find it. It's right. Hold on, I'm looking. There it is. Page 14 in the manual, for those of you who have the manual. For those of you who, you all received the handout link, these show the 26 energy balance points of Jin Shin Jitsu. Now, what's awesome, folks, is that there's only 26 energy balance points to get to know. And as we get to know them, we realize each one of them has a reason for being, a purpose, and a meaning. And when they are able to fulfill their purpose, they're in a balance and harmony that allows everything to go in a state of ease, of flow, which then means each one of them has less of a tendency to be a beaver dam. So all those rivers of energy that run through your body, and there's lots of them, because there's one for every single organ in your body, one for every single system, many that combine systems. And when they're in a state of balance and harmony and they're in flow, it means that the energy balance points are not beaver dams. Because each one of those rivers want to be in flow, want to be in ease, want to be in a state where the rivers are flowing inside the riverbanks in a beautiful current. And when that's happening and there's no beaver dams collecting, everything's happy. Think about the rivers up in where, the Sierras or whatever mountain terrain you live near. As those rivers are flowing down, they're just doing it, right? They're in ease. But here comes a family of beavers, and they want to build a beaver dam with all these twigs and limbs and logs. And as they collect them and create the dam, it starts not only accumulating from the building, but accumulating from everything that's coming down the river. Make sense? Guess what? That's happening in your body. If your body's building beaver dams. Why do they build beaver dams? Something impacts the system. Daily living, stress, tension, habits, emotional upset or trauma, physical injury, ailments, illnesses, any of which I'm speaking can be in the past or can be current. No matter when it is, if the body is reacting to an impact, it could potentially be collecting the consequences. The impact could also be emotional upset or trauma. It could be mental confusion, too much thinking, not enough thinking, cluttered thinking, shattered thinking. Whatever the it is, if the consequences are allowed to sit in the system and not moved out of the way, the body's going to go into reaction. Energetically, those rivers are going to get sluggish, jammed up, dammed up, and start looking like they have beaver dams. And when that happens, all of a sudden those rivers are saying, I can't do it. And guess what? That's when we start getting projects. I call things projects instead of problems because projects are a lot more fun to work with and have a beginning and an end. A project, a condition, is simply a state of being where the energy is not flowing. The energy wants to flow. It does not like being in a state of stuckedness. My word, does not like being in a state of stuckedness. It wants to be open and flowing. We can help it. And that's why you have these things called fingertips. Why not make use of them? They're with you all the time, 24/7. So when we connect the tips of our fingers to the various energy balance points in connection, we are assisting our body to be in a state of flow. We're connecting the dots. So you remember as a kid having those coloring books where it was just a bunch of dots with numbers. And when you connected the dots in order, you actually ended up creating a picture. And then you got to color that. So that was your canvas. Guess what? This is your canvas. And the trick, the key, is to connect the dots, the energy balance points. So you create a well-working picture that makes sense. For it to make sense, it means everything's in flow, everything's in balance, one point connecting to another, talking to another. So all these energy balance points, all these rivers, when they're in a state of flow, your body has an opportunity to be talking to itself in an easy, effortless way. Remember, I used the word taking care of yourself, loving yourself is not selfish. You actually get to have conversations with yourself. I'm giving you permission to talk to yourself, okay? Take it, please. Talk to yourself and find out, what is my body telling me? What messages? Well, if you're not getting any, just maybe It's because your body's requesting a little bit more balance and harmony. Your body wants to talk. Give it a chance. Give it an opportunity to talk to you. What's that look like? When that body is in a state of balance, it means that every piece and part of you, anatomically, physiologically, energetically, is able to communicate. It can have a conversation. It can have a discussion with you if it's in a state of balance and harmony. It means that. Think about it this way. If your hip is talking to you, is it talking to you right now, or your knee, or your gut, or your heart, or your head? Do you have a headache, tension, tightness, strain? Whatever it is it a major project? Hopefully not. Or is it just a simple little message right now, trying to get your attention? If that's the case, I'm guessing that your body is experiencing that state of being able to pick up on a message. The key is to pick up on a message before it becomes a project. It will more easily pick up on the messages before they become projects if you help your body be in a state of balance and harmony. I know I've said it a couple different ways, but I really wanted to get through here, if you don't mind me saying so, of helping your body experience that kind of spaciousness that allows the message to be available to the whole of you. The whole of you, every piece and part of you, wants to know so much about everything else. A lot of what we're going to be talking about over the next couple nights is how to help your body. I'm talking the big systems: immune, endocrine, adrenal, lymphatic system, and nervous systems, to be in such a state of balance and harmony that they create the umbrella that allows you, the whole you, to be such a beautiful collaborative teamwork approach that each piece and part of you knows what every other piece and part of you is doing. What I'm talking about is helping your whole body know that it knows. Helping your body know that it understands that every other part of you knows its job. Think of this as teamwork, as a team approach to help your whole being get the message. She or he is taking care of me, and I know it, and I feel it, and I appreciate it, and I'm going to give it back. So a body, whether we're talking the body you walk around in, or how about your team at work? Or if you're an entrepreneur, you probably are not doing everything yourself. Otherwise, you might really go crazy. You have a team. And the key is to have each one of the team know enough about the other people's jobs that everybody can be a better partner in the whole team. That's what I want you to see your body as. It's a full-fledged team. And the trick is to help the whole part of you be so proactive that it knows what it needs to do to get from where you are to where you want to be. So I talked about the endocrine, adrenal, immune, lymphatic, and nervous systems. That's your umbrella. All the other systems: respiratory, digestive, elimination, reproductive, all the systems, all of them, that all of them work together, vascular, that every piece of them works so well that all the organs within them knows their job. And in that framework, folks, when it's in a state of balance and harmony, your body will more easily get the message if something's gone a little awry. Or one of my favorite words is majorly cattywampus. And if that's the case, let's help your body recognize how easily and effortlessly it can take such great care of you that if there's no room for there to be major projects. your body can get the messages easily. And remember, it's not selfish to love your body, to take care of yourself, to make your happiness a priority. Hear those words. Your happiness is a priority. So, what's going to make you happy? Have you thought about that? The title of this series, if you will, is Manifest Your Destiny and Step into the Real You. You know why I use those words, manifest your destiny? It's because in Jin Shin Jitsu, there's actually an energy balance point, number 23 on your page, by the way, that when it's in a state of balance and harmony, it can manifest the destiny of the real you. It's, by the way, are you ready? Right there, mid-back, right about kidney level. Isn't that interesting? When your body has an energy balance point, number 23, experiences balance and harmony, it can step into its full potential. It also happens, by the way, to be all about a well-oiled and working vascular system. Why do I bring this up? Is because when number 23, I'm not going to talk a lot about numbers in this series, by the way, but the reason I gave you that the energy balance point page and the other pieces is I want you to become aware of how easily you can connect the dots to get everybody to work together. Think about all those dots, all those points as ways to help you be the powerful being who's ready to step from where you are to where you want to be. And 23 is all about that. And one of the best things you can do for yourself is place your hands right on right and left on left, right back there. There. Do you feel the pulse of the energy? If you feel a sensation, maybe it's the pulse, maybe it's temperature, maybe it's breath. When you feel the pulse, you are able to feel spaciousness, to feel ease, to be prepared for anything and all that will take you from where you are to who knows. Anything's possible. Potential is totally limitless when you have balance and harmony. So, happiness, priority. Let's just think about that a little bit. To have balance, to have success, to have joy, how do you do it? Do you schedule free time in your days? Do you schedule full free days? How many of us do that? I do my best, but sometimes it gets beyond me. The trick is to put it in your calendar, right? How many times have we heard something like that? How many times have you heard the words, learn to say no? How many times have you maybe heard, learn to delegate? All of those phrases are about taking care of self. Because when we truly love ourselves, we're giving ourselves space. Space for truth, space for ease, space for the possibilities. So, how do you attract what you want? That's what manifesting is. How do you attract what you want? Do you know what you want? That's probably pretty important to know. But I'm not going to get there tonight. What I want to know is, if you really want to attract balance, success, what you can do is walk around in a body that's in balance and harmony, because you will more likely attract what you want when you're balanced. It's all about clarity. It's about focus. It's about experiencing the joy that you are when you have that spaciousness within you. So it's about breath. We double checked on breath when we first started, right? How's your breath feeling right now? Put your hands on your tummy again and just breathe. What's that feel like? Do you feel the calm? Do you feel your hands moving? Do you feel your back moving against the chair? Just check it out. Chances are it's already changed from when we first began, because we've done the daily clean your house flow and we touched and connected with those points at the mid back that are all about manifesting. And it's about connecting with the chi. The chi in Eastern medicine is entirely, completely about energy. So we want to connect with it. You know how else we might want to connect with breath? Yeah. Give yourself a hug. Remember, that's connecting with breath. And you know why it's really important to connect right there? Did I say that it's about the fact that in Jinshin Jitsu, when that point, and it's number 10 on your page, is in a state of balance and harmony, it helps you access limitless life power. Wow. So think about that. Here, you're accessing limitless life power. And then bring your hands to the number 23, that point right back there. And guess what? That's manifestation. Limitless life power. Manifest it now. And then remember that second step of the daily clean your house flow where you sat on your hands and that was about vitality. Why not go there? You can connect all the dots you want to connect. You can create your own flow pattern. And every once in a while I do. In fact, I do that a lot. I want you to play. I'm giving you permission to play with your body, to talk to your body, to listen to your body. What's it asking for? What's it want? What messages are you getting? So when your body's in a state of balance and harmony, I mentioned that it will more likely give you messages. In those moments of time when you get the message, that is your signal to do something about whatever the message is, the signal is, the hint, the suggestion, before it becomes a project. So if it's your knee, you want to do something about it, right? So maybe you sandwich it. Many of you have heard me use those words. So sandwiching it would just be holding here and here. Well, wasn't that interesting? Because we actually accessed those areas when we were in the daily clean your house flow. Remember, the outside of the knee is all about patterning, reprogramming, giving your body new habits, new ways of being. How sweet is that? That's a super awesome way to be in the moment. Because that's what all this is all about. Be now. Be in the present. Doing your energy balancing allows you to be so present that not only will you get the messages your body's trying to give you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually, you'll also be present for whatever might be taking place so that you can actually get the message from outside as it's coming in and you know how to work with it. Be in the present. Be aware. Be conscious. How else do you want to work with breath? I've got a couple ideas for you in that handout that you have accessible. So one of them is to hold the upper arm and with the other hand, hold the inner thigh on the opposite side. So if I'm going to mirror you. If my left hand, I'm mirroring you. Yeah, my left hand is on the right upper arm. Then have your right hand on the left upper inner thigh. And now you're accessing two energy balance areas. One's all about breath and taking care of self, loving self, connecting with heart. And you're connecting with the opposite inner thigh, which is all about processing, digesting, bringing that breath in, moving it through, bringing the information in, moving it through, allowing you to have this space. This is another one of my favorite moments, is to just give myself this kind of gift. When I do my energy work, I treat it as if I am giving myself a gift, because I am. I'm giving myself time. I'm giving myself this moment to be good to myself. And I'm giving myself the energy of all I want it to be, it being my body. So another one that I dearly love, God, I love a lot of these. What's that about? You might think that I do energy work all the time, and I do. How lucky am I? And it's because of that, by the way, that I managed to get through that day of the second dose of that vaccine with very little reaction. My arm was sore. Most of us have that, right? I have to admit, I was a little sluggish that first day. And after that, lo and behold, my body said, hey, I've got this, right? I've got some nods happening. And you know what? I'm loving that, because that means you did your energy work before, after. You went into it as if you knew, because you did know, that you were prepping your body for whatever it was going to receive or whatever was going to happen. Well done, folks. Well done. So the other one I want to share is to bring your fingertips directly underneath your collarbone, right there. So you cup your sternum. I'm not wearing the wrong collar for this, right there. Doesn't matter which hand you're using. I'm mirroring you. So this is the left hand. Thumb on one side. So how I want you to approach it is bring your fingertips directly underneath the collarbone. And do you feel that little notch that's right there where your collarbone and first rib come together, that little triangular space? Hold there and hold there with your other fingers, your index and middle finger, maybe right there. Okay. You're accessing the energy of gathering and dispersal, gathering in of the chi, bringing it throughout your body to everywhere it needs to be and wants to be. Isn't that what we're talking about when we're talking about manifesting? The other hand, I want you to hold on your tummy. So it's in a vertical pattern. Your fingertips are on a vertical pattern right beneath your navel, between your navel and pubic bone, on your tummy. Here you are. Breathe it in. You're connecting with a way to bring in so much expansive breath that your body is so capable of stepping from where you are right now to where you want to be. It's so capable that it can even have bigger, better voice. If you truly want to manifest who you want to be, you need to be able to speak your truth, right? You need to have the right words pop out. You need to have it be able to be projected. Can you picture that? Holding here and your other hand on your tummy allows that to happen easily and effortlessly. You know what else it does? It drops all the tension in your jaw, in your throat. Just lets it go. It works so well that it can really make a difference in all that you want to say and be. It works so well that it can help singers project their voice bigger stronger. I worked with some professional singers, and what they've discovered is that when they do this, they are so much better able to really project their voice. If that can happen, imagine, if you will, please, that you can project your truth with whatever words you want to say. So, for instance, if you have a major conversation coming up soon with a prospective employer, you've got a big interview. Or if you have, if you are self-employed and you are making a proposal to someone, hold this for a couple moments. If you have a conversation to have with a family member that you're a little uneasy about, take a moment to do this. If you want to have a really important, special moment with yourself, speak your truth within you. Do this. That makes sense? You know when else it really works, by the way? Because it drops all the tension in your jaw. On a physical point, my dentist contends I can open my mouth bigger than anybody else he knows, because all the tension in the jaw and throat lets go. You know why he notices that? And actually the hygienist notices it before he does, because I'm doing it when I'm in the dental chair. I actually have a pretty small jaw right here. And after, I don't know if all of you know that I had a really bad car accident 28 years ago and ended up with a major state of occipital issue as well as TMJ. This helped me get over it. So off and on throughout the day, hold these points to really drop into the power of you. Speak your truth to the point where it helps you find your voice. Okay. So all of that said, what we're talking about is finding your breath, finding your calm, finding your way of being. So another really, really, really powerful one is to hold your hand right here. Right hand about where neck and shoulder come together. And then have your left hand on your left chest, just below your collarbone. You know what that does? Not only does it connect with breath, it connects with your immune system. So much so that it helps to filter out bad air. That's a pretty important one to know right now, wouldn't you agree? Because we're all in that state of wanting strong immune systems. And when you're right here, top inside corner of the shoulder blade, if that's not easy to reach, don't push it, because I don't want you to strain. So go ahead and be kind to yourself, modify, bring your hand closer to where your neck and shoulder come together right there and hold here. Beautiful. So what are we doing? When we're connecting at the top inside corner of the shoulder blade, we're connecting with the immune system. And when you're here, you're connecting with gathering and dispersal, gathering in of air, bring it throughout your body as breath, gathering in of energy, bringing it to every cell of your being, gathering in of food, bringing it throughout as nutrient. So off and on throughout the day, this is really powerful for breath, for digestion, for processing, for finding joy, helping your body experience the joy, because when you're there, anything's possible. Anything's probable. I can't make any guarantees, but I sure can assure you that when you are in a place of calm, of balance and harmony, you are more ready and available for the you want to be. And if this can filter out bad air, imagine what all it can do for you. It works so well, by the way, that when you get back to traveling, like on a plane, this will help your body filter out the bad air. Anytime you're in a room with recirculated air. So if you are in a workplace where there's recirculated air, give yourself the extra boost. Okay. And when that happens, anything's possible. I want you to have a good night's sleep. So before we leave, I want you to recognize how easily and effortlessly. Any of you have sleep issues? Few? Okay. So guess what? It's so easy. This is in your handout to help you go to sleep. Or if you are prone to wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, and then you can't go back to sleep, oh, that's a drag. And I don't know about you. I very seldom wake up in the middle of the night. So I don't have the issue of going back to sleep. But over the last month, I don't know if it's the new moon that we had. I don't know if it's the astrological energy. Maybe it's because that all that stuff is happening up in Mars. I don't know. But I've had a harder time going back to sleep. So I actually got to use this and found out how quickly it works. All you have to do is hold the base of your skull, which is in the daily clean your house flow. Yeah. And guess what? This actually works in the middle of the day too. And not to go back to sleep, it's about waking up. The body knows what you need at any moment in time and can figure it out on its own. That's being present. So holding here, light, gentle touch. Everything's light, gentle touch. All the points, hold for a couple good breaths. And then start jumper cabling. And as you jumper cable, holding each one for at least a couple good breaths. If you're not asleep by the time you get through the second hand to the little finger, start again. And if you're still not asleep, start again. If you are someone with a sleep project, I hate labels, okay, but some people call it insomnia. If that is of issue, then it might take a couple weeks to do the trick, because this is all about repatterning. Everything we're doing is about repatterning, reprogramming, giving your body a new habit, a new way of being, which is really an old way. It's reminding it. And your body wants to be in a state of balance and harmony. It wants to be calm. It wants to be ease. It wants to be full of joy because you're loving yourself. You're taking care of yourself. It might take a couple weeks. Most people find, unless there's something else happening, but if it's just a simple sleep project, usually within the first, by the time you're like through 2 or 3 weeks, most people find that they're falling asleep before they get through their first hand of jumper cabling. Wouldn't that be nice for those of you who have sleep projects? Consider it as a possibility, because guess what? We have to be experiencing good, restful sleep to be able to manifest who you want to be. Your body needs that downtime. And it's silly that, in my opinion, that we call it downtime, because it's actually uptime. It's when your body, your mind, your spirit is traveling. It's getting a lot of stuff done. Everything you did throughout the day is getting processed during your nighttime, during your sleep time. And so I should say during sleep time, because there are people who sleep during the day because of their schedule. Okay, that's okay. Just switch it up for me. So when your brain, when your mind, when your conscious awareness is moving through everything that transpired during your wake time, that's a lot of flying around. Flying through your thoughts, flying through your memory, getting things to fit into their rightful perspective moments. That makes sense? So we want to sleep. We need to sleep. We need to help our bodies be in that place so they're more prepared for the day, our wake time that's coming. So this is a true gift to yourself, because when you're in that place, you can truly step into being able to manifest who you want to be. Because when you're in a state of balance and harmony, you will more likely attract everything you want and who you want to be. Whatever that is, whoever that is, whatever you want to be doing, whatever you want to be receiving. It's all about allowing. Attract because you're allowing. Receive because you're allowing. That is what I want your gift to be tonight to yourself, is receive all that we've gone through tonight as a gift to you. Be good to yourself. Be joyful. Be happy. Be in love with yourself. Because when you're in that place, anything's possible. Can't believe it's an hour already, and I gotta quit. Those of you who've been here before know that I have a hard time stopping. So to be true to the time frame, I'm going to say goodnight. But before we do that, are there any questions? I forgot to mention at the beginning that if you have any questions, always put them in chat. I totally spaced out on that, and I apologize. So please, if you have anything, go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know what you have on your mind, what you have in your heart and soul, or email me if you'd like to at Deborah@DeborahMyersWellness.com, and let me know what came up and what you would like to think about, talk about next time around to add into what I've already got planned. Who has anything to say? Anybody? Hello. Oh, we got thumbs up. That's good reactions. Okay.
You. I gotta run, but thank you so much, Deborah, and everybody. I'll see you next week.
All right. Who said that?
Lori.
Hi, Lori. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed being here.
Yes, I did. Absolutely. Thank you.
Excellent.
Everybody.
Excellent.
Good night.
And Kathy, you need to get to bed. It's getting late where you are.
Thank you.
Okay, go on, girl. All right. Anybody have any questions? Any desires? If you want to hang on after, I'll sit here for a little bit if you want to have a quick conversation before we leave. Otherwise, I wish you well. I wish you love to yourself. Give yourself a giant size hug. You deserve it. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Hi, thank
Love you,
you.
Ariel.
Thanks, Deb.
All right. Good to see you. Mwah. What'd you think,
Oh my
Serena?
gosh, that was so amazing.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I can't
Oh.
remember like all the housekeeping stuff that you did, so I want to go back and look at that again, but it's so practical.
You'll get the recording and you'll get it in the handout. It's all in the handout.
Okay,
Okay.
so I did print each one.
Okay,
I printed
good.
both of them.
Good. I'm
So
glad you
the-
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. So, these 26 points, do they correlate at all with acupuncture?
In a way, in Japanese
Yeah.
acupuncture to some extent, the 26 points are not the same as the Chinese methodology, because there's hundreds of Chinese acupuncture points.
Yeah.
What I love
Okay.
about Jinshin, and I'll point this out again next time, is that that's why I love teaching it as self-help, is because there's only 26. And it's
Yeah.
a heck of a lot easier to only know 26, which is why I keep teaching it. So there were actually a couple people on this call who have taken the whole 6-month program where we studied this whole manual, all 26 energy balance points, what each of them does, and when they're in a state of balance and harmony, what they get to do for the body. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's really cool.
That's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So the temperature one, that's the outside of the knee, right?
Correct.